Attorney General Dave Yost is suing to remove two members of the Teachers Pension System Board, accusing them of breaching their fiduciary duties. He says they're part of an attempt to hijack the pensioners' retirement accounts. This all comes after documents were sent to the governor last week accusing members of contract steering. Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trout was at the STRS meeting today and says the lawsuit is not having the desired effect on the board.
And even with the lawsuit, the STRS board members voted to put in a defendant as chair, showing the AG that they will not be backing down.
Suing us, investigating us. I guess I'll call it a sham investigation, and then totally...
It's been chaos at the state teachers retirement system of Ohio. Wednesday morning, Attorney General Dave Yost filed a lawsuit to remove STRS board members Steen and Rudy Fichtenbaum, saying they've failed their role in protecting the pension fund. The lawsuit alleges the pair seek to steer as much as 70% of STRS current assets to a shell company that lacks legitimacy and has backdoor ties to both men. Last week, Yost started an investigation after anonymous documents allege that Steen and Fichtenbaum have been doing the bidding of private investment group QED. According to the suit, the firm asked board members for $65 billion so that they could allegedly restore the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA. The men are accused of continuously pitching QED's plan to other members.
And it's defamatory, it's not true.
Over the past few years, STRS has lost billions in investments, restricted COLA, and increased the years that educators must work to get pension. This has led to a group of pensioners who have named themselves the Reformers fighting for change. Steen and Fichtenbaum are two of the leaders.
We have really not developed a concrete plan to address the concerns of the members, and that's why we're here. That is to reinstate a COLA and to have unreduced retirement for active teachers at 30 years.
In an act of defiance, the Reformers removed the STRS chair, who was on the status quo side, replacing him with Fichtenbaum. A decision applauded by retired Columbus teachers Sharon Parker and Melissa Heyer.
They need to work together for the teachers, and they're not doing that.
They believe that the Attorney General is just suing them to stop the Reformers from getting control of the board. But business law expert Eric Chafee says these allegations are serious.
I doubt this case would have been brought if there had not been things that ought to be explored about the relationships of these board members with QED.
At the STRS board, I'm Morgan Trout reporting.
Okay, in the midst of that investigation, the STRS, or the STRS board, had its election. This weekend, another reformer was elected, meaning they now have a supermajority to choose an investment firm to work with, so they could choose QED. Morgan did ask the members of QED if they were still on the table. They said they want all options.